Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we sift through the sources, cut through the noise, and pull out the crucial nuggets of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we're on a mission, really, to help you unlock the full potential of your own home. We want to transform it into a powerhouse of personal fitness.
Yeah,
We're going
definitely.
beyond just, workouts here.
Yeah,
We're talking about building a truly useful, healthy body that goes way beyond the superficial.
that's right. Our deep dive today is, well, it's a comprehensive guide to integrating three powerful pillars of home fitness: yoga, strength training, and cardio. The
Yeah.
goal is to give you a clear, personalized path to functional strength, holistic well-being, and mental clarity, all tailored for your space and your goals.
Okay, so let's jump right in with our first pillar, yoga for both mind and body. Now, when most people think yoga today, they immediately picture like dynamic poses, maybe some really bendy people on a mat.
Sure.
But there's a much richer history here, isn't there?
Absolutely. While the physical practice is, yeah, a big part of it now, yoga is actually far more than just a series of physical postures. It's an ancient tradition, over 5,000 years old.
5,000.
Yeah, practiced by billions worldwide, and it's aimed at uniting mind, body, and spirit. Its ultimate goal is profound freedom, freedom from the burden of life, freedom from the self. It's fundamentally a way of living.
5 millennia. That's incredible. Where does that journey begin?
Well, its earliest mention actually dates back to the Rig Veda, a sacred text from around 1500 to 1000 BCE.
Wow.
But the first systematic presentation of yoga came much later with Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, written centuries after that. These sutras outline what's known as the 8 limbs for living a meaningful life.
The 8 limbs, right?
Yeah, covering everything from ethical principles to concentration and meditation.
And this historical context really reframes our modern understanding of asana, doesn't it?
It really does.
Because in Patanjali's original Yoga Sutras, asana referred to a seated meditation posture. That was it.
Exactly. Its sole purpose was just to help you cultivate awareness and prepare for meditation, not, to build a sweat or stretch every single muscle in your body like we often think today.
Huh. So that's a big shift.
Precisely. The shift to the dynamic physical postures we see today as integral to yoga and making it accessible to the general public, that largely came much later. It was T. Krishnamacharya in the mid-20th century who sort of repackaged and reformulated yoga.
Oh.
He refined postures sequentially, gave them therapeutic value. And this is why we now see so many different styles of physical yoga that are so focused on movement.
So if we're building a strong, functional body through yoga, what are the core principles of this physical practice? What's the fundamental insight we need to grasp?
Well, the foundational concept is alignment. It's all about building postures from the ground up, making sure your foundation is solid before moving to other areas of the body.
Ground up.
Yeah, think about it in terms of 3 major platforms of the body: the foot and ankle complex, the pelvic girdle, and the shoulder girdle.
Right.
The core insight is to stack your joints. Stack them up for maximum stability and efficiency. When your joints are stacked, your muscles can work optimally without, straining ligaments or other tissues unnecessarily.
And this isn't just theory, right? It translates directly into how you move every single day.
Totally.
So maybe to give you a sense of what this stacking feels like in practice, we could look at a couple of foundational poses.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the key is the principle behind them, not just a step-by-step guide like you'd get in a class.
Exactly. For detailed visual instruction, you definitely want to consult an instructor or a dedicated video for sure. But take Tadasana or mountain pose, for example. It's the foundational pose for pretty much all others, and it looks simple, like you're just standing there.
Yeah.
But the insight is that it's an active pose. You're engaging all 4 corners of your feet, lifting your arches to support your legs, and then you're stacking ankles over heels, hips over ankles, shoulders over hips.
So it's really intentional.
Very intentional. It's about creating a truly stable, efficient base that translates into better posture and balance in your daily life.
That subtle engagement, like you mentioned, a tiny tilt of the pelvis to lengthen the tailbone, drawing the ribs in. That makes a huge difference in how supported you feel, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And it's not just about static poses. If you move to something like, say, downward facing dog, the same principles apply.
Okay.
You're finding length in the spine, pushing your hips back to take weight out of your arms and shift it into your legs, which are naturally your stronger foundation.
Right, getting away back.
Yes, in Downward Dog, the insight is really about creating space. If you have a tighter body, maybe keeping your knees bent allows you to prioritize lengthening the sides of your waist and your spine. You maintain that core strength rather than just forcing your legs straight.
Which could compromise the spine, right?
Yeah, exactly. And for those who are more flexible, the focus shifts to working the legs towards straight while still maintaining that spinal length. And maybe adding an inward rotation of your thighs to open the pelvic floor. It's about listening to your body, optimizing for length and stability, not just jamming yourself into a shape.
Okay, so we've really taken a deep dive into the nuanced physical practice of yoga and its core principles like alignment and functional strength. It's clear it builds incredible body awareness. But beyond that, a question I know a lot of listeners probably have is, can yoga actually double as a cardio workout? Can you get your heart rate up?
Yeah, that's a common one. And what's fascinating here is, yes, definitely. If you engage in intense vinyasa flow or maybe power yoga, especially when you combine it with ujjayi breath,
Okay, what's ujjayi breath?
that's a specific breathing technique. You make a slight constriction at the back of your throat so it creates this like audible oceanic sound as you breathe.
Ah, I think I know that one.
Right. So doing that with a fast-paced flow, you can absolutely significantly raise your heart rate and induce sweating. It makes it a pretty effective form of cardiovascular exercise, offering a full-body workout that also really hones your mental focus.
Interesting. Okay, all right, let's unpack our next pillar then. Building power at home. Strength training. There's always been that, age-old debate in the fitness world.
Yeah.
Are machines better? Are free weights better? Or can you get just as strong with just body weight? Especially for strength and hypertrophy, which is muscle growth.
It's a great question. And honestly, there are anecdotes supporting all sides. You have legends like Ronnie Coleman, the bodybuilder, who used a ton of free weights.
Huge weights.
Massive. And then you have Phil Heath, another champion, who reportedly primarily trained with machines. So you see both.
Right.
But when you actually look at the research, specifically these like 8 to 12 week studies comparing them,
What do they find?
they find no significant difference in muscle growth between free weights and machines when you equate for volume, that's the number of hard sets you do, and effort, meaning how close you're actually training to failure.
That's a fascinating insight then. So the muscle responds to the tension and the effort, not necessarily the specific tool.
Exactly.
What does that mean for someone at home who might feel a bit intimidated because they don't have a full gym setup? Are there common mistakes people make when trying to apply that principle with limited equipment?
It means the muscle doesn't inherently know or, frankly, care if the resistance is coming from a dumbbell or a machine or even your own body weight pushing against gravity.
Huh.
It responds to mechanical tension, stretch, especially under load at long muscle lengths, progressive overload, meaning getting stronger over time, and effort. So the primary recommendation really is choose the training style you will be most consistent with.
Consistency again.
And genuinely enjoy, because consistency is paramount for results. And for someone at home, the biggest mistake is often thinking, oh, I don't have enough equipment, so I just can't build muscle. That's simply not true.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
This really challenges that notion that you need a gym membership to build muscle. I mean, just look at gymnasts or calisthenics practitioners.
Incredible physiques.
Yet they build significant strength and muscle with pretty much only body weight. And anecdotally, I know people who transitioned from years of traditional weightlifting to bodyweight yoga and found themselves completely humbled by the sheer strength required for poses like plank or downward dog.
Oh, absolutely. It truly highlights the difference between, say, traditional bodybuilding goals, which often focus on isolating muscles for mass and aesthetics, the look, versus a functional strength. Functional strength is about useful compound movements for daily life. Think about reaching into the backseat of your car without tweaking something, or picking up your kids without straining your back, or just easily walking upstairs.
That's thrilled stuff.
Yeah, real world stuff. Yoga, through its compound body weight movements, really excels at building this kind of useful strength. Plus, yoga is a practice you can potentially sustain throughout your entire life, unlike maybe some other forms of exercise that might become difficult as you age.
And there's a mental health connection too, isn't there? Sometimes gym culture can get focused on aesthetics and external validation, which can, feed anxiety for some people.
That's a really important point.
Whereas holistic practices like yoga often seem to promote more internal well-being and self-acceptance.
Absolutely. One crucial point for a balanced physique, though, especially if you're primarily doing yoga, is that yoga predominantly involves pushing movements. Think push-ups, planks, handstands eventually.
Right, pushing away from the floor.
Exactly. So to achieve a really well-rounded body, it's beneficial to integrate some pulling actions. This could be anything from swimming or rock climbing, if that's accessible,
Or at home.
or even creative home pull-up solutions, maybe using a sturdy door frame pull-up bar, or even just resistance bands anchored securely for rows.
Okay, good point. So what does this all mean then for building a home gym without breaking the bank or, taking up your entire living room? What's the essential gear we should consider?
You truly don't need a huge, expensive setup. Most essential equipment can probably fit inside a closet and won't cost a fortune. For mobility, a foam roller is great.
Which kind?
I personally like the Trigger Point brand grid rollers. They tend to be comfortable but also durable.
Okay. And for resistance?
Mini bands, those little circular 8-inch bands, are fantastic, especially for hips and glutes. The green and blue ones from Perform Better are a good starting point, usually.
Right.
Then you have the longer rubber resistance bands, like the red or black ones you often see, maybe 20, 50 pounds resistance. They're great for upper body rows, assisted pull-ups, glute bridges, hip hinges, lots of uses.
Versatile.
Very. And for specific shoulder work, those CLX bands with the built-in handles are quite good.
Okay.
A simple yoga block is incredibly useful, not just for yoga, but for adding height or support in lower body exercises like split squats, or even just as a support under your hand.
Multi-purpose.
Exactly. And for weights, well, dumbbells or kettlebells are key if you want to add external load. If you're buying just one or two to start, maybe a medium to heavy weight for your capability. For many people in the, say, 35, 65 age range, something like 35 to 45 pounds can add significant resistance for compound lifts.
Or adjustable ones.
Adjustable sets are excellent for saving space, definitely a good investment if you plan to progress.
And what about something like a TRX? Is that worth considering?
For advanced support, though it's definitely optional, a suspension trainer like a TRX can be incredibly beneficial. It adds an instability challenge, but paradoxically, it can also provide safety and build confidence in movements like squats and lunges, because you can use your arms for a bit of support as you build lower body strength.
Gotcha. Okay, so we have the gear. Now, for strength training basics for beginners at home, what's the approach?
Focus on total body workouts initially. That's generally the most efficient way to burn fat and increase lean muscle mass when you're starting out.
And volume. Sets and reps.
Yeah, so volume is usually measured in sets, which are repeating rounds of an exercise, and reps, the number of times you do the movement per set. Beginners can start with maybe 2 sets per exercise and then progress to 3 or 4 as they get stronger over time.
Okay, and what about those rep ranges? How do we decide how many repetitions to do for our specific goals? Like getting stronger versus endurance.
Right. It all depends on your goal. Generally speaking, for muscular endurance and maybe some size increase, you'd aim for 12 to 20 or even more reps. This uses lighter loads, and you'd take shorter rests, maybe 30 to 60 seconds between sets.
Okay.
For hypertrophy, which is more focused on muscle definition and growth, you'd target the 6 to 12 rep range. This requires heavier loads, and you'll need longer rests, like 60 to 90 seconds.
And for pure strength.
If you're really going for super dense muscle strength and power, that's typically less than 6 reps per set. This means much heavier weights, relatively speaking, and much longer rests, often 3 to 5 minutes, to fully recover between those intense efforts.
Wow, okay. That's quite a difference. And the crucial part you mentioned earlier is progression, right?
Absolutely critical. Your workouts must get harder over time to keep seeing results. Your body adapts, so you need to keep challenging it.
How often?
Aim to make some kind of progressive change roughly every 4 to 6 reps. This could mean increasing the workload using heavier weights, moving faster with good form, or increasing the volume doing more reps or sets, or even extending your workout time slightly, or maybe reducing your rest periods between sets.
Lots of ways to make it harder.
Exactly. And always, always, always prioritize proper form. It's essential to engage the right muscles and, crucially, avoid injuries. Bad form is counterproductive.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move on to our third pillar. Cardio. Cardiovascular exercise. Can we start with a simple definition?
Sure. Simply put, this is any type of exercise that raises your heartbeat and gets you breathing harder, working your respiratory and cardiovascular systems, your heart and lungs.
And the benefits are, well, they're truly myriad, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
For one, it significantly strengthens your heart and lungs. It increases your lung capacity over time, Makes your heart muscle stronger and more efficient.
which means it can pump more blood with each beat.
Right, leading to a lower resting heart rate,
True.
which is a good indicator of heart health.
Definitely. Beyond that, cardio aids in fat loss because it burns calories. Of course, this works best when it's paired with good nutrition. You can't out-train a bad diet, as they say.
True.
It also dramatically improves your stamina. You'll find long-distance walking easier. You'll feel less fatigued doing daily activities like climbing stairs or even just housework.
What about sleep?
Big impact on sleep. It can help you fall asleep faster, sleep deeper, potentially longer, and wake up less often during the night.
And brain function, too. I've heard that.
Yes. It improves blood circulation to the brain, promotes healthy blood vessels throughout the body, including the brain, and stimulates the release of beneficial chemicals like endorphins.
Nice.
For athletes, or even just weekend warriors, it boosts speed, balance, coordination, and endurance, while also helping to reduce injury risk. Plus, maybe most importantly, in the long term, regular cardio significantly reduces your risk of cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes. It genuinely increases your chances of living a longer, healthier life.
Okay, sold. The good news is you don't need any fancy equipment to get a great cardio workout at home. Or,
Absolutely not. You have plenty of options right in your living room.
That's right. Think classic jumping jacks, high knees, mountain climbers,
I love mountain climbers.
burpees, which are, notoriously tough but effective. That combo of a squat, jump, push-up,
High intensity right there.
definitely. Squat jumps, speed skaters, lunge jumps. If you happen to have a jump rope, that's incredibly effective and doesn't take much space.
Great cardio tool.
And for a fun, full-body option that also lifts the mood, just put on some music and dance. Even toe taps are a great low-impact option if jumping isn't for you.
Totally. Now, when structuring these efficient cardio sessions, HIIT or high-intensity interval training, is incredibly effective and time efficient.
How does that work typically?
Well, a simple example. Select maybe 5 to 8 different bodyweight exercises, perform each one for, say, 30 to 60 seconds, going straight from one to the next without rest.
Back to back.
Back to back. Then, after you've done one full circuit of all the exercises, take a 30 to 60 second rest. Then repeat that whole circuit for maybe 2 to 3 total rounds. This approach maximizes calorie burn and boosts heart health really efficiently.
Okay, but what if HIT sounds a bit too intense?
For a gentler option, there's steady-state cardio. Here you'd pick maybe 2 or 3 moves and just maintain a moderate intensity pace for a longer duration, maybe 15 to 30 minutes continuously. Think things like continuous step touches side to side or marching in place with arm swings.
So more endurance focused.
Exactly. Less intense peaks, more sustained effort.
Got it. And regardless of the choice, HIIT or steady state, what are some key tips for success with home cardio?
Okay, few key things. Always warm up before you start maybe 5 minutes of dynamic stretching or light movement like marching or arm circles. And always cool down afterwards with some easy movements and maybe some static stretching. Very important. Also, modify the intensity to suit your current fitness level. If jumps bother your joints, take them out. Do squats instead of squat jumps. Step back instead of jumping back in burpees.
Make it work for you.
Make it work for you. Stay hydrated, keep water nearby, and ensure you have good ventilation in your workout area. Open a window if you can.
Good advice. Now, for the real magic, maybe, the synergistic approach. This is where we combine all 3 pillars, yoga, strength, and cardio, for truly holistic fitness. What's the power of putting them all together like this?
Well, mixing yoga, strength training, and cardio yields enhanced overall fitness. That's sort of the headline. You get vastly improved flexibility from the yoga, increased strength from the resistance training, and better heart health from the cardio.
The trifecta.
Pretty much. And this varied approach is also crucial because it prevents boredom. Doing the same thing day in, day out is a common reason people fall off the wagon.
True.
And importantly, it significantly reduces the risk of overuse injuries by working different muscle groups in different ways and allowing different tissues time to recover.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how do we design this versatile routine for ourselves, ensuring it actually fits our life, our schedule?
Okay, number one factor, we've said it before, but it bears repeating, consistency. You need to create a personalized program that genuinely fits your lifestyle.
Be realistic.
Be realistic. Consider how many days a week you can actually commit, how long each session can realistically be, and what time of day suits you best. Remember, even 20 to 30 minutes done consistently can be highly effective.
Right.
Much better than planning an hour you never do.
Right. So for a weekly structure, what might that look like? How many days?
Aim for maybe 4 to 6 workout days per week, but make sure you vary the intensity and the focus across those days. You don't want to go hard every single day.
Okay, exactly.
For instance, you could structure it like this. Maybe 2 days of strength training, 2 days of HIIT or conditioning cardio, and 1 day of lower intensity cardio combined with some yoga or dedicated stretching. That gives you a good mix.
Can you give us a more concrete weekly schedule example?
Sure. A sample week might look like this, but obviously you'd adjust it. Monday, maybe full body weights plus a short yoga cool down. Tuesday, cardio intervals followed by a core focused yoga flow. Wednesday, upper body focused weights, then some balance focused yoga. Thursday, perhaps lower impact steady state cardio followed by a longer stretch session.
Okay.
Friday, lower body weights, maybe with some hip opening yoga after. Saturday, you could do a fun cardio like dance, HIIT, followed by a short power yoga sequence. And Sunday, definitely rest or maybe some gentle restorative yoga.
That sounds really balanced. And you can even combine modalities in single sessions for efficiency, right? Like blend them
Yeah.
together.
Absolutely, especially if you're short on time. Imagine starting with a 5-minute dynamic yoga warm-up to get the body moving. Then hit a 20-minute strength circuit using your dumbbells or bands. Follow that immediately with 12 to 15 minutes of cardio intervals. And finish with a 5 to 10-minute cool-down yoga sequence or stretching.
Boom, done.
Yeah, it's a complete workout in maybe 45, 50 minutes. Incredibly time efficient.
Okay. So wrapping this up, what are the absolute best practices for success when putting this all together?
Okay, key takeaways. Always warm up before, always cool down after. Focus your strength work on compound movements. Think squats, push-ups, rows. They give you the most bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
Try to integrate some form of yoga or stretching daily, even if it's just for 10 minutes before bed or first thing in the morning. Take at least one full rest day or maybe an active recovery day like a gentle walk per week. Your body needs to repair.
Crucial.
And most importantly, set realistic, adaptable goals. Don't try to do too much too soon and track your progress.
Why is tracking so important?
Tracking progress is key because it allows you to see what's working and what needs adjusting. Keep a simple fitness journal. Log the objective stuff, exercises, weights used, sets, reps, duration, rest time,
The numbers.
the numbers. But also make subjective notes. How did your body feel? How was your energy, your recovery, your mental state? This helps you personalize the plan, adapt it over time, and keep things fresh and relevant to you.
Right. It's not just about the numbers.
Not at all. And finally, remember the 80% rule we touched on earlier? Nutrition and diet are arguably around 80% of your physical results. This training program we've outlined is powerful, but it's absolutely essential to pair it with a well-balanced diet and adequate rest and sleep to see those lasting, comprehensive changes you're looking for.
Fantastic. So we've explored the really transformative power of integrating yoga, strength training, and cardio into a comprehensive home fitness routine. You listening now have the knowledge, hopefully, and the tools to create a personalized, effective setup right where you are.
Yeah, and this blend of practices isn't just about physical changes, although those will happen. It's really about fostering a deeper connection to your body and your mind, building resilience both inside and out.
So here's something to consider as we finish. How might embracing a holistic, functional approach to movement transform not just how your body feels day to day, but how you actually navigate every single day, fostering perhaps a deeper sense of presence and capability in your life?